So Wimbledon kick off to throw down the gauntlet to their illustrious visitors this afternoon. Holdsworth in there challenging with Pallister. Dennis Irwin steering the header back to Peter Schmeichel, who was simply monumental, as was Cantona during the last campaign. Really key figures in such splendid success. Or can they recapture that? A lot of talk from Old Trafford about the special allure of the European Champions League. Wimbledon, 10 years in the top division. That's a tremendous achievement for such a small club. And Holdsworth, who's always seemed to be on the point of leaving, but is still here and certainly pledged to the cause. Getting to the ball as it dropped, but not getting a strong enough touch to trouble Schmeichel. David May wearing Steve Bruce's number 4 these days. Cantona chasing. Cross goes Perry. Had a very good season last season, Chris Perry. Apart from missing a couple of games with suspension, was involved all the way along the line for Wimbledon, really learning his trade. And Brian McAllister in there alongside him, very much a surprise choice. May caught by Holdsworth, nothing too malicious, but the referee has decided to give Manchester United the free kick. But on the short side, and Schmeichel's got to come out of his area. Kicks well. Robbie Earle pressed by Nicky Butt. Butt was concussed at Wembley last weekend and missed the midweek friendly against Inter, which Manchester United lost at home 1-0. All part of the preparation for serious battle, and this is very serious. Cantona and McAllister. Irwin well forward. Challenged by Thatcher, and McAllister intercepted, but he's given it straight to Butt. Here's Jordi Cruijff. Keane. Paul Neville moving down the left outside Keane. Typical tussling from Wimbledon by Andy Clarke in particular. The home goalkeeper is Neil Sullivan. Pallister's header. Keane. Well, Paul Scholes, who was in and out with Andy Cole over the last few games in the run-in last season. Goalkeeper should pick this one off. Scholes with a great chance now to establish his claims with Cole's illness. Scholes actually being asked to go off the pitch by David Ellery, maybe to remove an item of jewellery, a chain being taken from around his neck. Physio David Fever. Cunningham, who got his place in the Republic of Ireland side in some summer internationals, with Dennis Irwin taking a bit of a rest. Comparison between those two right backs today. Well, Wimbledon so good at creating chances, bits and pieces really, from set plays. Vinnie Jones throws it short to Holdsworth, then plays in the cross early. It was a useful one too, that Robbie Earle nearly made contact with. This is Gayle. Dispossessed quickly by Keane. Manchester United fans may well remember that on the opening day last season they were beaten comprehensively at Villa Park, 3-1. Wimbledon wondering whether this is a good time to get this fixture out of the way, but they really have got some difficult games in the first few weeks. They go to Newcastle, Alan Shearer's home debut, one expects, for a match next Wednesday. Then they go to Leeds. They've got Tottenham and Everton to come here as well in the first few weeks of the season. Rumours of 1 or 2 bets being placed that Wimbledon will get no points from their first 5 games. Doesn't take into account their spirit and their drive and their determination. A shot from Clarke didn't really carry much sting. Down quickly by Keane. But flying in, and Leonhardsen also with a chain around his neck. It's been a bit good news for Norway on another front. The first goal of the day from Bjørneby, the Norwegian left-sided player for Liverpool. It's against Middlesbrough. May trying to drop it over the top for Cantona. Jones couldn't get it away. Here's Keane. They've got him behind Thatcher. Irwin, flag has gone up, possibly against Cantona by the far post. And such is the noise at Selhurst Park. But Andy Clarke didn't hear the whistle. It off quickly. Cross came in, and there was Cantona, as you can see, just too far forward as Irwin played it into the centre. At useful height, Marcus Gayle. Cantona held it up beautifully under pressure. Earle thought he took it cleanly from Cruijff, but in the mind of the referee, played the man before the ball. Sullivan can let that drop. Sullivan, who made a good recovery last season from a broken leg. Cantona's recovery was of a different kind, more mental than physical. After the notorious night that he'll always be aligned with, whatever his subsequent behaviour, here at Selhurst Park in January 1995, when Manchester United were then playing Crystal Palace here. Cantona is onside. Cunningham trying to get back between the Frenchman and the goal. He's done that. But flicking it on. Beckham right in there. So too with Scholes. The outcome is a corner. And you can hear from the noise, the volume of support for Manchester United here. Very calmly cushioned by Cunningham. And David May and others who'd made their way up have to retreat. Pallister as well. Well, all the managers know that whatever preparation you do, the real test of how well a side has been prepared comes in the proper games. There's the added factor of the heat today. Clarke got into a decent angle to hook it back. May was just a little bit lacking in immediate control, but prevented the corner. Wimbledon have the ball with 10 minutes gone in the hands of Vinnie Jones. Gayle jumping with Pallister, May alongside Clarke, and it's a Wimbledon corner. Now, they were rehearsing yesterday. Corners taken from the left by one of the centre-backs, McAllister. And it is indeed McAllister who's gone across. Marcus Gayle is often the target by the near post. McAllister sends out the signal. It's clipped indeed towards Gayle, but over him, Cantona clears. Cunningham will be first to this. McAllister, who got back onside, to fight to win the right to cross it. High by May, not too far away. It was very fortunate for Wimbledon that Perry got to that, because if Scholes had done so, Cantona was all alone on this near side. But this is Scholes. Trying to get in behind Earle, but there's a little too much on the pass. That sort of backtracking by a defensive midfield man, as Robbie Earle was doing then, something that Newcastle didn't do well in the Charity Shield. That's very much an English incident. Many countries, the play would have been stopped for dangerous play then. No room for shrinking violets in this particular league. And although a lot of foreign players brought in, we'll see which of them stands the course and rises to the challenge. Some will inevitably bow beneath it. He was wondering, Joe Kinnear, over the last 24 hours or so, exactly how you come up with a tactical plan to try and get the drop on the best team in England, certainly the most successful since this Premier League was introduced. 3 wins, 3 championships, should I say, and 1 second place in those 4 seasons. Of push and shove around David Beckham, who really caught the eye in that Charity Shield success last weekend. And he's been tipped to be involved in the first England squad, to be announced over the next few days by the new coach, Leonhardsen. On the subject of international football, Peter Schmeichel popped back to Denmark to play in a World Cup warm-up against Sweden in midweek. Scholes got to it, not with any control. Leonhardsen, then Thatcher, who seemed to be on the verge of joining Leicester when Wimbledon stepped in to keep him in London. Really tipped to progress in the game, already in England under-21 international. Can play left side of the centre of defence or left back, as he's playing today. But Gayle and Irwin trying to really locate where the ball was going to drop. Nice control from Jones. Clip pass accurately for Holdsworth. Tries to get something going with Cunningham. It's Holdsworth cross, and Gayle chasing around the back. Irwin had him covered. They do like to get the ball quickly into the centre, Wimbledon, and often Holdsworth, of course, is the player in the middle, but he went to the right then. Perry for Manchester United from Butt. Three forward for Wimbledon. Furthest of them is Holdsworth. Pallister got to the ball. Johnsen was quickly on the scene from Wimbledon's midfield. Headed out by Pallister. Jones is there, but giving it to Cruijff. Scholes. Cantona running in field of him sensibly was Keane. Cantona with another header. Wimbledon able to plug the gap. May. Manchester United have done the league double over Wimbledon for the last 2 seasons. Really, Wimbledon lost a little bit of the advantage against the bigger clubs when they moved from Plough Lane, which was small and difficult to deal with if you weren't used to it. Phil Neville. Jordi Cruijff. Cantona and Scholes in the centre, not wanting it to feet. Scholes. Keane. Beckham. Keane, time to assess what to do here. Keeping it back to Cantona. Irwin's cross. Cunningham's header. Well, it could have gone to butt, fortunately for him. Leonhardsen was able to help it forward. Pallister played inadvertently, a 1-2 off Gayle. Beckham, great ball, lovely run from Scholes. Trying to take the shot quickly. Good block from Chris Perry. Signs of Manchester United settling to the task, putting the passes together. The ability is there, there's no question about that. The appetite will always be under scrutiny, particularly amongst players who, even the younger ones, so early in their careers have achieved so much. But Alex Ferguson was delighted with the hunger that his team showed at Wembley last Sunday, to the detriment of Newcastle United. Clarke. Thatcher finding some acceleration to get there, and the referees do have now extra dispensation to let the play go on for advantage. But David Earle was concerned about the nature of that challenge. And even though Wimbledon were chasing the ball into the corner, they have a free kick. Jones and Thatcher. Robbie Earle's very good at pulling round the back in these situations, but the ball's got to be deeper than that. Perry. Earle's touch was a sure one. Gayle. Here's Kenny Cunningham. 4 in the centre for Wimbledon. Leonhardsen, who's definitely a goal threat on the edge of the area, got the power, but far too much height as the ball dropped. Voted player of last season by the Wimbledon fans. And they're pleased to see him picked today. Jones. Gayle chasing. Pallister got to it. May on the stretch. Well, Manchester United having to do a little bit more defending at the moment. Clarke brought down by May. Almost 20 minutes gone. Jones sending out the signs. Got it wrong. But it broke for Perry, who had the shot. Apology from Jones to Thatcher. The difference between the training ground and the heat of the battle. Cruijff couldn't quite keep it in. Jordi Cruijff left Barcelona largely because of the difficulties of his father's situation when he was fired. Manchester United fans not too happy with the linesman, or the referee's assistant as we should call him now, Jerry Lee, who flagged that the ball was out. Cunningham. Gayle. Get to it again. Crack himself. Earle intervened as it was going nowhere. Here's Robbie Earle again. Plenty of players forward for Wimbledon, but Clarke gets the better of Phil Neville. Leonhardsen going in, well tracked by Keane. Well, without actually making a chance. This is more progressive from Wimbledon. Manchester United at the moment on the back foot. And McAllister's come across to take the corner. A difficult one to defend for Keane, who was just pleased to get his head to it, and then Schmeichel took charge. Well, that's good defensive play from Clarke, otherwise Beckham would have got away from Schmeichel's clearance. Manchester United so quick and so sharp on the counter-attack, so often emanating from their great goalkeeper. So Jordi Cruijff in front of the gaze of his father, trying to get into the game down the left-hand side. Cantona. And again, some space for Scholes. Cantona couldn't get the ball forward quickly enough. Brilliant ball from Beckham to Butt. So Thatcher brings it away, and now Leonhardsen and Jones. Thatcher again. It's a little bit quicker in the higher division. His former club Millwall were of course relegated last season from Division 1 to Division 2. Shirt sleeve order in South London. Karol Poborski waiting on the Manchester United bench. 5 substitutes named this season in the Premier League, of which 3 can be used. Headed forward by Cruijff. Scholes were trying to make up the ground. Sullivan was there in the right place. Manchester United getting beaten on the opening day of last season. On that day, Wimbledon were getting off to a winning start against Bolton, from the same part of the world as Manchester United, but not quite of the same calibre. Keane accelerating and leaving Jones. Doing his best to track the run, but Keane's cut across him brilliantly. But 1 or 2 options to the left. Cantona! He starts where he left off. A truly thumping drive into the top corner, coming in the 25th minute. And the defending champions are a goal to the good against Wimbledon. And Eric Cantona took the chance in great style. Well, a little tough on Wimbledon, without actually calling the tune, were having a good deal of the ball well forward. Well, a player who will forever be associated with Selhurst Park for other reasons. Adds a goal here to the 2 he scored in the 4-2 win for Manchester United against Wimbledon in February. And Roy Keane roaring down the right-hand side in the outset of that attack. Very much involved in setting up the play. Gayle. Well, it was, I think, 6 times in 38 games in the league last season, only 6 that Wimbledon shut out the opposition. And they conceded their first goal of the new campaign to an illustrious team and an illustrious player. So much of the backing here, it's almost like a goal had been scored at Old Trafford itself. And the Wimbledon fans in the minority wondering whether the fighting spirit in their side, and there's no shortage of that, can yet be a factor. It needs to be now. Have equalised against Liverpool, and Ravanelli has got his first goal in England. And Everton lead Newcastle by a David Unsworth penalty to 0. Manchester United fans will also appreciate that as much as Cantona's goal. And here's Cunningham for Wimbledon. Jones. Cunningham again. Put it into space there that Beckham would have been favourite to fill. Jones. Holdsworth doing the holding up job. Leonhardsen. Now that's a corner for Wimbledon. Well, we talk about the spice in their game, the spirit in their game, but Wimbledon have their own skills as well. They don't suffer from an inferiority complex against the big boys. What can they construct from this corner? Thatcher came in and it was construed by the referee as misjudgment, really. Although sometimes a slight nudge of an intentional variety can be responsible for a player coming underneath the ball as that. Jones actually went to the referee and suggested that a penalty would have been in order. Pallister, hoping that the back problems that really bedeviled him over the last few weeks of the last campaign. A thing of the past. Cantona and Cruijff. Still Jordi Cruijff. Stopped by Cunningham. Phil Neville is there to keep the pressure on Wimbledon. Beckham. Cantona. With his butt trying to make the header. Sullivan in a race with, first of all, Butt and Cruijff as well. Goalkeeper had to be quick. Half an hour gone. Wimbledon 0, Manchester United 1. Holdsworth gets the free kick, takes the free kick, and the flag went up. Wimbledon would feel a little bit on the late side. Beckham. Awkward for Perry to defend, but he's got it out of harm's way. Cantona. Gayle got in the way, but the ball only dropped for Butt. Keane. Push on McAllister by Jordi Cruijff. The way Wimbledon are playing with three in the middle of midfield, Manchester United do get more of the ball, particularly Cruijff on the left. Doesn't have an immediate marker. Although Kenny Cunningham will certainly track him when he gets into the opposing half. Cunningham has pushed on like a number of Wimbledon players here at this free kick. Manchester United have everyone behind the ball. McAllister will take it. Really into the pack towards Jones, and oh! Well, Schmeichel somehow smothered it. That was the most awkward moment for the defending champions so far defensively, caused by Vinnie Jones' flick and Robbie Earle's reading of it. But the sheer size of Schmeichel kept Wimbledon out. Pallister holding off Holdsworth. Jones, Pallister's there again. Going to go wide to the right. Beckham had tucked infield. Irwin saw the chance to go forward. It's a weak layoff from Scholes. Thatcher. Pallister trying to get plenty of power into the defensive header. It was helped on by Beckham. Brian McAllister, who spent a spell last season on loan with Crewe. To get his game back after some injury disruptions to his career. Really coming through the pre-season games to get into the team today. Jones. And the sun really could have troubled Schmeichel, who's spurned the chance of wearing a cap. Phil Neville. That should be Kenny Cunningham's. But the kick from Sullivan was well short of the halfway line and dropped for Phil Neville. And you can sense some of the players just feeling the heat with 10 minutes to go to half-time. Beckham. doesn't come into that category. He's still looking very busy indeed. But as that ball dropped, no one from Wimbledon was making a challenge on Phil Neville. Had plenty of time well forward to get the ball under control, as has Keane here. And Cruijff can hit them with either foot. That was one with the right. Here's a chance on the left. And Sullivan saved it as he tried to just clip it past the goalkeeper as he came off his line. It was a crucial stop from Sullivan to deny Jordi Cruijff his first goal in the English league, and to stop Manchester United going 2 goals to the good. Holdsworth. Now Jones. Back for Holdsworth again. Good angle for a ball in now. Manchester United do defend very well as a defensive unit. More needed from them as Thatcher clips it in, and Roy Keane in there to help out. Not just settling for defending. But he saw a gap and moved into it, and Clarke came a long way. In fact, overtook some of his own teammates to get that challenge in. Clarke, who had trials with Manchester United a good few years ago now. Irwin. Cantona. Keane. This is Beckham. Cruijff is free. And the linesman comes to Wimbledon's rescue. But so often he can be the spare man. Particularly when Cunningham, as he was then, was dragged into the centre. See what Cunningham's problem was. And if they'd have just played that a little earlier, Cruijff would have been in. Pallister. Forward by Perry, and catching practice for Schmeichel. Cunningham doing well in the end. It's an awkward ball as it dropped. Keane. Here's Cruijff. Cantona in the centre. Scholes getting there as well. And that was a ball that certainly confused Cunningham and Sullivan, which was a measure of its quality. And Manchester United thinking about taking a quick corner through Scholes. They first of all, though, have to make a substitution. Because Nicky Butt has gone off, and Ronnie Johnsen, the Norwegian international, takes his place 6 minutes before half-time. So Beckham does take the corner. Nearly a very spectacular start for the substitute. He was certainly in the pack as it sped across the Wimbledon 6-yard area. Jones. Over McAllister from Beckham. Ronnie Johnsen actually started his career as a striker. He's been signed as a defender. Here he is coming on to just play a holding role in midfield. In front of main McAllister. Holdsworth, Leonhardsen, Marcus Gayle. It was an opportunity, particularly on his left foot. But it needed real care in the execution. And he got badly underneath it. Scholes. The pressure was from Leonhardsen, the clearance from Terry. Neville will work it back to Schmeichel. Jones. It's Keane, in the presence of it. Gayle, put in. Header from Jones. Holdsworth. Pallister's come a long way to be with him. Keane playing on the retreat. And the score from Middlesbrough, it's 2-2. Ravanelli's got both of the Middlesbrough goals. John Barnes the second for Liverpool. Scholes. Well, having got the tackle in, he feels that he was obstructed by Cunningham. Wasn't a feeling shared by David Earle. Jones. It's kind of a bit quiet, Manchester United, at the moment. Johnsen trying to change that. Cantona, and he's got a problem as well. There was a sign or two of that earlier, and he certainly is flexing the back of the leg after playing the pass then. It is a risk for players, and of course put just that bit extra into the league match than in the preparatory games. Cantona leaving it for Cruijff. He's playing all through the middle at the moment. Space for Philip Neville down the left. Johnsen. Cantona, Keane. Then they'll be worrying. Another goal conceded before half-time, and there might not be any way back. Phil Neville, there's no flag, but no one in there chasing. And concern for Manchester United for Cantona. Scorer of the game's only goal in the 25th minute. Been a second goal for Everton at home to Newcastle. Gary Speed on his Everton League debut, having signed from Leeds, has scored it. Holdsworth. And again, didn't quite take the ball with him. Gayle couldn't quite flick it on, and the follow-up shot from Irwin Leonhardsen. There was a doubt about his participation in this match. I said earlier the Wimbledon fans were very pleased to hear his name read out at the start, because it's been suffering with a sore toe over the past few days. He came through training well yesterday and has taken his place here. In the first half that's not too far away from finishing now. A little bit of stoppage time to be added on by David Earle. Coping. Cruijff, Scholes. A fine lunge by Earle to get the ball back for Wimbledon. And Phil Neville takes it nicely on the chest. First half in which Manchester United, to some extent, played within themselves. But still struck the vital first blow. Back goes McAllister, but he doesn't get there. There's a brave header from Beckham. Johnsen had darted into space behind Cunningham. Holdsworth. Jones, Gayle in the centre for the long ball. Now veering to the right. Looking for support from Clarke. Oh, and Andy Clarke went in with a foot up then. And David Earle, who hasn't been called upon to dispense justice really, it hasn't been that sort of first half, will step in here and certainly produce the yellow card for Clarke. Pallister got to the ball, and Clarke got to the man. And that's the last act of the first 45 minutes. The joy for Alex Ferguson and for Manchester United, a goal from Cantona. The concern, the state of fitness of the scorer, who not exactly hobbling, not moving too freely as he goes in for the half-time break. Wimbledon came closest through Robbie Earle's header from Vinnie Jones's flick on, but you feel Manchester United have more in reserve at Selhurst Park, the defending champions in their first game of the new Premier League season. They lead Wimbledon by 1-0. So far, Manchester United in control, but they know as well as anyone you can take nothing for granted when Wimbledon are the opposition. It's Beckham. Leonhardsen. Holdsworth trying to get in behind Pallister, but in the end recognising that Schmeichel was going to get there first. If he'd made a real challenge, Schmeichel actually was outside the area, might have possibly been forced into a mistake. The goalkeeper was able to move back into sanctuary. Pallister. Scholes. Robbie Earle, but with 3 to beat, and he's done it. And got a free kick to boot. Well, Scholes trying to distract the taker of the free kick, who is Cunningham. Maybe it was distraction, it was certainly a mistake. And now Jordi Cruijff against Perry, who was pressured into handling it. It wasn't as though he was the last defender, so it's the free kick and nothing else. Perry believing that he was pushed onto the ball by the Dutchman. Well, David Beckham always fancies free kicks from this type of angle. Just moving the ball a little bit, maybe to try and catch out the Wimbledon wall, which needs to be firm. Sullivan pretty much in the centre of his goal, prepared to go either way. Here goes Beckham, and Sullivan's got to move to his right, just in case it dropped a further inch or two. Well, there is so much to the game of young David Beckham, and if he stays fit, he really could develop into one of the main characters of the drama that lies ahead in England's Premier League. This is Holdsworth and May, and in the end, harmless enough. Manchester United have started the second half pretty much the way they finished it, with Jordi Cruijff through the middle with Cantona and Paul Scholes playing on the left of midfield. McAllister. I saw that late, perhaps expected Thatcher to go for it. Beckham. When you think it's only Wimbledon's 20th season in league football, and this is the 11th in the top division. And here they are looking for an equaliser with Holdsworth. A good touch on from Gayle. The direct route, but the effective route. Gayle higher than Irwin. Holdsworth quickly across there, leading the race with Pallister in behind May. Nothing for Manchester United to take for granted here as yet. Leonhardsen. Here's Irwin. It's a clever ball for Cantona. Good marking by Chris Perry. Irwin. Put it out by Cunningham. Clarke. Leonhardsen for Clarke. Holdsworth free on the left. And Clarke still reasonably unattended, able to play in a cross towards Marcus Gayle. They want to fill it with midfield players now, and the header lacked a bit of power and a bit of direction as Earle was coming in. It's overhit from Keane. McAllister, who's a Scot by the way, and spotting the English-born players will be more difficult in this particular season, you feel. In hopes that the next generation of Beckhams and Butts don't get crowded out, and the desire to cash in on the transfer market with the foreigners, which at the moment is better for the buying clubs than purchasing English players because of the Bosman ruling. So much for managers to be appraised of these days. Jones. And although Schmeichel probably could have picked it up, David May decided to knock it away. Manchester United expecting the long one, neglected to deal with the short one, and Jones had an opportunity to put in a decent cross then, and he didn't take it. McAllister. Oh, that's a great header by Earle. Robbie Earle finished with 14 goals last season, many of them with late darts into the penalty area like this one. And Schmeichel knew it was close enough for him to commit himself to the dive. It was a foot or so the wrong side of the post from Wimbledon's point of view. McAllister. On from Gayle. McAllister on patrol. McAllister wanted an offside, it wasn't forthcoming, and it's Cantona trying to slip it through for Scholes. He had Cruijff the other side, but didn't really see him. Cunningham. Still feel Wimbledon are very much in this. Gayle. Flag up against Clarke. And Robbie Earle will be ruining that moment, but Wimbledon will draw confidence from it. There's a sight of Schmeichel's goal. That's the headline makers elsewhere today. Nottingham Forest Kevin Campbell, who's got a hat-trick against Coventry. Wimbledon still trying to right their way into a major prominence. The reports of the first series of games on the opening Saturday of a season that holds such promise. McAllister to take the Wimbledon corner. We're in the 9th minute of the second half. And that was a more difficult effort for Earle, always moving backwards. Kinnear is an avid user of the substitutes. One of his attackers, Ekoku, probably feels isn't right for more than maybe the last 15 minutes. McAllister will steer it back with the second piece of defending. Ekoku's only just recovering from a twisted ankle. It might just be introduced late on. There's Mick Harford too as a backup to Dean Holdsworth. Still going strong at 37. Truly done by May. Hard act to follow, Steve Bruce. Peter Schmeichel taking his time, which is an indication of a little bit of concern, I think, in the Manchester United ranks about how the team has started the second half. They're complaining now from players and from fans about the offside decision from the goalkeeper's clearance. Wimbledon happy to take it. Think how long the ball is in the air. It's his licence to run forward once Schmeichel has kicked it. Offside given. Jones trying to get it down. Cleared by Irwin. Cantona, delightful control. Pass just off beam for Beckham, but he recovered to rake the ball to the left to Scholes, one-on-one with Cunningham. He uses the supporting player who's Beckham, who's got a cross. Who's not so spot on with the second pass in that particular attack. Jones. Andy Clarke is very quick if they can get him the right kind of service. Quick here is Sullivan. Did the job. And this time it's Wimbledon's turn to complain to the linesman. The flag wasn't raised. Cantona, Beckham. Ronnie Johnsen, the substitute for Butt. Wimbledon piling in. Free kick the outcome. Cruijff. This is Cantona and Keane looking to craft something here. They've got Dennis Irwin to involve as well. Having been defending, Manchester United broke to get the first goal of the game. They do the same again here with Irwin. They've got a great chance. They've got it. And Dennis Irwin supplies some insurance here at Selhurst Park in the 12th minute of the second half. They picked their passes, and then Irwin rather kidded Sullivan that he was going across goal and drilled it in at the near post. top quality play after Wimbledon were doing their best to rally. So the Irishman adds to the goal from the Frenchman in the first half. Look at Sullivan start to move, and it was a really big gap that he won't be too pleased to see, the Wimbledon goalkeeper. He took a chance, and Irwin knew far too much about it to not waste that opportunity. So now one might expect Joe Kinnear to start tinkering with the tactics and with the personnel as well. Well, Irwin only scored once last season, which was quite low for him. He scored once this season. Clarke. There's Gayle's shot. Well, Manchester United don't give you too many sights of goal, and when there's a shooting opportunity, it really is beholden to the team trying to close this gap, to be as accurate as possible. Remember, Gayle skied one in the first half. But Marcus Gayle is onside here. Andy Clarke in the middle. Gayle's on his weaker foot, and Schmeichel didn't leave a gap by his left-hand post, and neither did Gayle attack the ball with the power that Irwin did in the similar position at the other end a few moments ago. It was a great run by Marcus Gayle. Andy Clarke was the player first in the middle for Wimbledon, looking for it to be cut back. Keane. Beckham. Johnsen on the left. Cantona joined by Scholes in the middle. Johnsen to use his pace. Well, sticking to his guns, just about within the letter of the law was Robbie Earle. Jordi Cruijff. Might be some pickings here for Manchester United. The decision is a corner. Cruijff bursting between the two, but I think the foot belonged to Perry in the end. The goalkeeper was straining up to get a touch as well. It is a corner. That was Jones' highest. Thatcher getting away from Pallister. Oh, and there's a ball on here for Leonhardsen. Irwin coming across. Contact but no foul. They're stepping up again, Manchester United, at the moment. Helped in doing that by the second goal. Keane. Beckham. Another great pass from right to left. Scholes, Cruijff wanting it slipped through the middle. Scholes was looking left to Phil Neville. Cunningham. Well, it's very tempting for Wimbledon to really go gung-ho now, but Manchester United quite capable of really picking off a side that overcommits and ending up with 3 or 4. Some signals coming from Alex Ferguson, maybe towards Cantona. Schmeichel, as Joe Kinnear watches his back four being kidded by the Czech and the goalkeeper to clear. They were stepping up. Holdsworth. Phil Neville, who made his full England debut in China last May. Right, is offside. Wimbledon taking the free kick quickly. Thatcher. Went up, possibly again not against the player Gayle, to whom the ball dropped, but Andy Clarke was trying to peel off him for a flick on. Well, it's gloomy from the Wimbledon perspective at the moment. Perceived by the referee to have left his foot in then. He's been booked. McAllister trying to get out of the way, made sure that the referee realised that Cantona was a little bit late. So Eric Cantona, who only got 1 yellow card in his comeback last season, 38 games he played, all competitions, booked just once after his long punishment for the incident here at Selhurst Park. He's been booked again today, as he was in the Charity Shield at Wembley last Sunday. So Alex Ferguson ponders on that. And McAllister some lengthy treatment from Steve Allen. But the team seem comfortable in the sunshine, and so do the supporters, despite Cantona's transgression. Liverpool have regained the lead at the Riverside Stadium in Middlesbrough with a goal from Robbie Fowler. 3-2. Thatcher. Wimbledon looking for something to bite on here. Pallister has stayed down. And the game goes on, although David Ellery will have the licence to stop it because of it being a head injury. Wimbledon will feel a little bit aggrieved. They were in a position where Clarke might have got in a cross. It's a tricky one. The referee looked away then. Had he just looked back, he would have been able to stop it when Wimbledon could have had less cause for complaint. Pallister prostrate. Quarter of the match left. It's just a question now of how the referee and the players interpret the restart. Quite accidental. But for the player from behind, the risk in those is a broken nose. And Gary Pallister knows that only too well. I looked at Steve Bruce close quarters often enough. So David Earle has to drop the ball very well forward here. Now often the referee comes to some sort of pact with the players as to how justice is best served. So that has been done. Andy Clarke has a cosmetic swing at it, and they've settled for a throw, Wimbledon, after the negotiations. Almost as good as a cross when the ball is in the hands of Vinnie Jones. Jones again to play it in. Well, it was Andy Clarke, I think, who got his head to it. In the crowd. Schmeichel stopping it going behind for what Wimbledon felt would have been a corner. It was a case of Holdsworth being offside, I would have thought. Wimbledon will feel if they could just get one goal and unsettle Manchester United, whose weakest point at the moment seems that one or two of their players are not 100% fit, and that they have lost one of the main stays of their midfield in Nicky Butt just before half-time. Gayle. That was made from behind on Clarke. So it's a free kick to Wimbledon. Jones takes it, and in any case, although Schmeichel unchallenged made the catch, there was an offside flag. Coordination was wrong from the home team. Cruijff. This is Johnsen. The striker turned defender to make an international career for himself, playing in midfield now as a substitute. Well forward in not unfamiliar territory and almost making something for himself. McAllister. So far, a routine tale to tell. Manchester United picking up where they left off their last game last season. Well, they had to avoid defeat at Middlesbrough and won it 3-0 to take the Premier Trophy for the third time in 4 seasons. 2-0 to the good here, and you have to say not in dire danger of being caught as we approach the finishing line in this game. Straight from one goalkeeper to the other. Very hard for Wimbledon to find something extra on such a sapping afternoon. That's what we must try and do. Gayle. Past his head. Oh, it's Leonhardsen! And that was a wonderful moment, maybe the moment for Wimbledon. And they couldn't take advantage of it. Pallister could only flick the ball up in the air towards his own goal, and the midfield man with a very good scoring record, Irwin Leonhardsen, came in as it dropped. You could see the whites of the goalpost, the whites of Schmeichel's eyes. But he couldn't put the white of the ball into that net. What a great opportunity that was for Wimbledon to get back into the game. Wasn't the most difficult save in the end for Schmeichel, but he made it. And he hadn't gone too soon. Often a mishit shot troubles goalkeepers because they commit themselves too soon. It was mishit by Leonhardsen. But was miserable in the end for Joe Kinnear in Wimbledon. Cantona letting the ball do the work, really. Beckham. It's Wimbledon's throw. Keane very involved in both the goals. Good leap by Perry. Keane's header again. Keane has been on his best behaviour today. He's seen red and been shown red in the past when David Earle has been the man in charge. That aggression is such a strength as well as from time to time a weakness. Drill ball by Schmeichel. Leonhardsen. Cut out by Keane. Scholes. Referee saw it was the chest and not the arm. Beckham. Good intervention by Thatcher, who's certainly not knocked out of place, and he's one, as I said earlier, destined for the top. Turn out to be a very shrewd signing from Wimbledon, even though they've really broken the bank to get him here. Beckham. Now Phil Neville. Cruijff. Cantona just drifting away. Thatcher trying to keep him in his sights. Cross didn't come. Scholes is a player they've got to worry about, and now Phil Neville and Cruijff. There have been long spells in this game when Manchester United have been able to pass the ball around at will. But they put their possession to very good use in each half. Phil Neville. It's all very well talking about Wimbledon's wish to get at Manchester United, but they've got to get the ball. They've got it now. Gayle. Leonhardsen. Holdsworth. Thatcher can go in and get it back, and that's not going to be a free goal, although as it looped up off Thatcher's foot, Schmeichel just for a second might have wondered. Ferguson still not totally happy at what he's witnessing, although he'll be pretty happy with the scoreline, which still shows Manchester United 2-0 in front at Selhurst Park. Cantona. Cruijff to take on Perry's pass. Perry. Jordi Cruijff. Well, Sullivan guessed the right way. It was all down to the goalkeeper for Wimbledon then. Great play by the Dutchman to get in at goal. It lacked only the finish. And there would have been more polish on the Manchester United scoreline. Cantona. Earle covering Johnsen. Keane wins it back from Jones. Could be another one on here for Roy Keane against the bar. Well, twice in a matter of seconds, Manchester United could have improved their position. Roy Keane rattling the crossbar. And just before that, Sullivan making an excellent stop after Jordi Cruijff had worked his way through in eye-catching manner. Holdsworth. Well, Schmeichel knew what he was doing. He pulled away knowing that it was going wide. Well, taking on the last defender, it's a great quality, and Cruijff did that superbly. But in the battle of wits with the goalkeeper, Sullivan won. Well, we've got McClair coming on for Cantona with 11 minutes to go. The captain's armband has been passed to Pallister. Seems to be weighed down by the responsibility as he wins that header. Well, Kinnear is going to go for broke, it seems, with 3 substitutes. He'd like to put 3 on and not take anybody off. I'm sure he'd feel that that might bring it back to an even contest. Ball still in play before the changes can be made. It has to go out. Leonhardsen. Gayle. Offside against Leonhardsen in any case. Although he was complaining his shirt was being tugged. McClair, in his testimonial year, has had to give up his number 9 squad number. Andy Cole has had it given to him, although Cole won't be well enough to wear it for a while. He's ill with pneumonia. And Leonhardsen between them, almost unhinging Manchester United then. It has led to a Wimbledon corner. But before that can be taken, well, we're certainly going to get 2 off, Jones and Holdsworth. Harford, still going strong at the age of 37, is coming on. With Ekoku. So Harford, who sorts them out at corners. It's a pertinent moment for him to arrive. McAllister takes it, but they got it too near to Schmeichel again. Earle has become the captain in the absence of Jones for Wimbledon. Jones stays to watch from the dugout. Holdsworth has gone straight down the tunnel. I don't know whether that tells us anything. McClair. Here's Johnsen. McClair, good tackle by Thatcher. And a thoughtful pass as well. Clarke. Turning May. It's all about the end product from Andy Clarke, and that wasn't bad. Sometimes he lets his teammates down with a final ball. And Schmeichel stretching then. The goalkeeper diverting it away from Harford. Thatcher having to defend again. McClair. That was weak from Beckham. Well, Gayle plonks it forward, and Manchester United have held the line well. Certainly Alex Ferguson quite prepared to change the formation of his team as the game goes on. At the moment, Jordi Cruijff playing as the only striker. Beckham in the wide right position, Scholes on the left. Tight little three of McClair, Keane and Johnsen. It's now Leonhardsen and Earle, and it's 4 up front for Wimbledon. It's a gamble. McClair. Matter of concentration, you feel, most of all for Manchester United now. Scholes, supported by Neville. McClair just knocking it down astutely for Beckham. McClair peeling off to the right, full of freshness, of course. Keane, cut out by Perry. Gayle with Irwin at his back. He loses him nicely. May hasn't lost his discipline. Clarke raises his arms in frustration. Back come Manchester United in possession again. Day, one of the headline makers will be one of the new foreign imports, Ravanelli, with a hat-trick for Middlesbrough. 3-3 now against Liverpool. Perry. Now Earle. Did go out. And that means a Wimbledon corner. Clarke tight to the byline. McAllister finding every step quite traumatic at this stage. They've sent him up so often to take these corners. And remember, he's only played twice in the Premier League in the last 2 years. He is again entrusted with the set play. And he's giving Schmeichel more practice. Booking for Harford, who was responsible for Schmeichel going to ground. No lover of goalkeepers, Mick Harford. And he knows most of the tricks, but so too does David Ellery. It's quite calculated. And spotted. Off goes Gayle. So Neil Ardley comes on, the last Wimbledon substitute, inside the final 5 minutes. So Clarke's gone to the left, Ardley wide on the right. Cruijff did well to get it to McClair. Quality has been required, Manchester United have found it. They've certainly played in matches when they've been more dominant, but there's been a coolness and a composure about their work. Just once or twice that's been broken down by Wimbledon, particularly the chance that Leonhardsen had when Robbie Earle had his header that hit the goalkeeper and the follow-up that actually came out of the post in the first half, and a header in the second half that wasn't too far away. Pallister, pursued by Earle. Johnsen. Well, they can just run down the clock now. Keane. Come forward by Perry. Pallister there. Cruijff. Oh, Beckham went expecting a much earlier pass. Well, for Wimbledon, you feel all is left now is the satisfaction of maybe getting one goal against such illustrious opposition. Irwin determined to deny them that if he can. But, Clarke got the better of him. Ekoku. It's a corner. And Schmeichel telling Jordi Cruijff to stay well upfield. Certainly the way Wimbledon have been taking their corners recently. Schmeichel's been served better than the Wimbledon teammates in the centre. But that was better, and it was McAllister who had plenty to aim at and put it off target when a consolation goal was certainly in the offing. Manchester United dropped their guard. And McAllister actually got his first league goal last season for Crewe. His lens fell up there. You'll see over and over again. From inside his own half, was it? Certainly on the halfway line. The point of contact, marginally this side of the halfway line. And that is truly outstanding from, and I'm delighted to say it, an English player. Pele, Di Stefano, Johan Cruijff, who's here to see it, Platini, all the greats have tried that from time to time. David Beckham has done it, and Manchester United lead by 3 goals to 0. David Beckham on the brink of the England squad before this game, I would say. That puts him in it and maybe in the team as well. Well, there have been lots of debates about which is the best league in the world, with the voices from Italy and now Spain, where a lot of money's been spent. But in England, everyone is very proud of the Premier League, and they can be rightly proud of a moment like that. And what has been a very professional job by Manchester United. It'll be interesting to know his thoughts about Beckham's goal. But what has been a very professional job by Manchester United has now been given a special stamp. Beckham from that spot again, they're shouting shoot to him. Well, there is a fear that for all the gloss that the best foreigners will bring, and everyone in this country is delighted to have them, that the change in the European regulations will not be to the benefit of young English players. But David Beckham may well be an example of the opposite argument. No wonder it's his name that's being yelled around Selhurst Park, and even the Wimbledon fans will take home a special memory, even though it was against their team. But he's caught in possession here, just inside his own half by Ekoku. We're in the 4th minute of time added on. And suddenly it has a feel of exhibition about it for Manchester United. Maybe overconfidence there from Keane. Harford, Ekoku's offside. Wimbledon have done their best, but it's not been good enough. Well, he knows the difficulties, the differences. The champions have made a winning start to the defence of their title, and at the end of the game, a really glorious goal from David Beckham. One it was a privilege to be here to see. It didn't, in truth, make a great deal of difference to the outcome. Already goals either side of half-time from Cantona and from Irwin had sewed up the points for Manchester United. Wimbledon 0, Manchester United 3, and David Beckham, amidst it all, will never forget today.